Hi, this is Sherry with a review of the Air Max 200. I first completely ignored this shoe altogether, didn't think much of it. I tried the 2090, Air Max 2090 and the Air Max 270, so this seemed like a bit of an in-betweener, but it turns out it does have its own merits. First of all, the midsole foam, it's some type of injected Phylon. It's not React, but therein lies the strength compared to the React 270s. This is really soft foam cushioning on the forefoot, but because of that, there is a rather jarring difference in terms of the elevation and the compression from the heel to toe. You do feel like you're wearing heels sometimes. You might feel like your toes are being jammed forward. So if you feel discomfort with that, this may be the better option, because it does have a similar type of max cushioning, but on the forefoot, it doesn't get flattened as quickly and easily as React. So there's a little bit of a more safe, firm ride here. The 2090, Air Max 2090 was good in terms of the foam that was used. The forefoot foam was super soft, even if it wasn't React. This uses a similar type of foam, but the difference between this and the Max 2090 is that 2090 had a crazy hard shell around the Max Air, so it was rigid as hell on the heel. It was just so rigid. So it just negated the fact that it had a good Max Air and a good foam midsole. But the thing about the Max 200 is, because this is not React, this is proprietary, typical, run-of-the-mill Phylon, so it depends on what you get. It's sort of like a lottery, random, chance, luck, your good fortune or whatnot. Even for this one, depending on the ones I tried in the stores and some of the other colors I bought, even for the same color, for the same pair, sometimes the left forefoot felt much softer than the right, or vice versa. So there's some strange QC issue there. Nonetheless, if you don't like easily compressed, super soft forefoot, but rather some sort of form of rigidity and lift here, so there's not too much of a drastic jarring difference in terms of the compression between the heel and the forefoot, the Max 200 is a way to go instead of the 270s. The 270 Max, it's air tube all around, so you feel a bit of a bounce every little corner you step on. But the 200, it actually has a bit more forgiving compression on the edges on the heel, so you don't feel that bounce jamming into the heel, balance and your toes being jammed forward. You don't have that sensation as much as the 270s. So in that sense, this is a better option. But of course, overall comfort, it's a little softer on the core for the 270 because you have a foam or React pillar. For the 270, it's pretty generic, just a concave, dug up core that's kind of empty. So it's sort of like a tube that's riding on empty there. A rigid outsole at the core, so it's a little different. It's less mushy, less bouncy, more of a smooth ride you get compared to the 270s. Depending on the colorway, if you see these checkered upper material, this actually usually means a little bit more breathable, as in it might be a little bit too cold to wear this during sub-zero temperatures. Very breathable, depending on the upper you get. Another advantage of the 200 compared to the 270 React is, I love the fact that they have these spikes, right? But these spikes wear out really, really, really fast. Here it's just stubbles of rubber outsole, so yeah, durability is certainly better here, but traction, of course, the spikes are a little bit better. Both have some exposure of the midsole from the outsole, so there's a little bit more give, a little bit of an impact guidance or distribution, so that is good. Fits true to size as well, just like the 270s. Another plus factor is that this little part of the 270s, they are sharp, they are rigid. So if anatomically they do not form to your foot, you might end up getting a lot of blisters around your ankles when you do some physically demanding activities here, lateral movements or forward. So these rigid blades are a bit of a deal breaker, but for the Max 200, it's pretty soft and rounded all around. I guess it also depends on the shape of your foot. For me, this felt like it was a little bit softer and more forgiving, so that's definitely a plus. The insoles are typical, nothing special, EVA, paper thin EVA insole, so you don't get much of a cushioning from there. So most of the impact protection and the stepping comfort is from the midsole and the airbag here. Another reason why I wanted to highlight the Max 200 is that Nike released a new shoe with pretty much the same tooling as the 200 called the, I think it was the exosense, exo something, look it up. The upper has been changed a little bit, but it's pretty much the same. It's not like some fantastic material like Fast Fit or Adapt. And the midsole and the outsole is completely the same. And that costs right now basically more than twice as much as the Max 200. So if you see that model and you like how it feels, go get the Max 200. Don't drill a hole in your wallet for no reason.